James Spader being. I remember them casting saying he was going to be Ultron, and I thought perfect because I just heard the voice. I knew he wasn't going to dress up as no big ass robot. I knew he was going to be
him in the office. All he says is, "This world revolves around sex." That's all.
It's the Lame Guys Podcast.
All right, so today is January 18th, and so I looked up some celebrity birthdays today, and there's a wrestler. Oh, he's not active now, but there's a wrestler whose birthday is today. Hall of Famer for sure. Do you want to take a guess at who it is?
So he's not in the Hall of Fame.
No, that's a good question. Is he? No, I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame yet, but he will be for sure. I don't think he's in there yet.
And you
though.
said he's not active.
Maybe he is. I'm super bad with the Hall of Fame now is a blur because I feel like every wrestler's in that bitch now. Maybe he is in the Hall of Fame.
But he's not active.
No, he's not active right
And
now.
obviously a he.
Yes.
Okay. Now Kurt Angle is in the Hall of Fame already.
Like I said, he could be. I may just be tripping. I don't remember. Actually, I think he is. But it's not Kurt Angle.
Not Triple H because he's in DX, so he is in the Hall of Fame. I have no idea.
Dave Bautista.
Oh, nice.
Is he in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
He's gonna be.
Yeah, he's going to be.
For some reason, I was thinking that the year when he came back, that he was a Hall of Fame, and then him and Triple H wrestled. Remember when they wrestled at Mania? Man, I'm just tripping.
No, I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame yet. I want to say that's one of those that people keep on saying, all right, this is going to be the year. This is going to be the year.
He'll be in the Hall of Fame 100%.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, what are some of your favorite Batista matches?
One we're going to talk about.
Just off the top of your head.
Yeah, one we're going to talk about in a minute. Moment-wise, bro, the Royal Rumble situation with him and Cena, that was pretty cool. Off top, him and Ray fighting after the death of Eddie. That was intense. Mm-hmm. Didn't like that.
That was they teamed for a little bit after
they
Eddie.
Teamed, but then
whenever he turned on Ray, that was like later. That was when he did his heel.
He did his heel run and everything like that. But still, that's the one that pops up.
Yes, that one does hurt.
And then I have the poster over there. Y'all can't see it. Undertaker versus Batista at 23.
Yeah, I had that on DVD.
That's such a good
one. I was
one.
so pissed.
I still say, bro, that was the biggest Undertaker's looked.
Oh, dude, his run, Undertaker's run from like 07, even I would say even late 06, really. From 06 to bro, dude was jacked. It's like he got rejuvenated.
Lean, dude, lean, but just pure muscle. Yeah. Especially when
athleticism too wise. Like he looks completely different
because he started jumping over the top rope, flying outside, and he hasn't done that since. I think Attitude Era or a little pre-Attitude Era when he was still before Ministry of Darkness. He used to do that in his matches.
Because when he was American Badass, he was not.
Oh God, no, he did not do that. He was bigger too.
Yeah,
he was a lot bigger.
Right. No, yeah. I would say some of my favorite Batista matches, definitely the Royal Rumble moment. And then, dude, I mean, it's crazy because whenever I was watching SmackDown at the time, right, and John Cena became champion. So this is a Ruthless Aggression era, and he got drafted to Raw. I was so upset. When Batista got drafted to SmackDown, I thought, perfect, even trade. But, like, now that I'm older and I look at what WWE was doing, and then you realize, like, they made John Cena the guy for WWE. That's why they moved him to Raw. Batista was, like, I guess, the second guy or whatever, and so they put him on SmackDown. But as a kid, you don't think about, like, the politics, I guess. Or you don't think about, like, the bigger picture in these things. But I loved Batista on SmackDown. So one of my favorites is him and Great Khali in the Punjabi prison match.
I forgot about that one.
Batista jumped to the other side too.
I forgot about that one.
You're right. He did have some legendary matches with Undertaker. He fought Triple H in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And WrestleMania 21.
I was about to say the WrestleMania 21. I forgot to mention that one too.
Legendary. So I saw that and I thought, let's give him his props, bro. Happy birthday, Dave. Happy birthday. Oh, I dropped my pen.
What's the month? Or what's the date today? 18th today. Yeah. Hey, good job. Shout out. Hey, good job as Drax too. Now come to DC.
I mean, I guess you would say him and John Cena are the most successful WWE actors for sure.
The most?
Him and John Cena.
You're missing one, bro.
Oh, I guess The Rock.
Nah, bro.
So
the great one.
I
but-
guess I don't really include The Rock because
he's been.
he was like towards the end of when me and you really started watching wrestling.
Oh yeah,
and
most
like
definitely.
Batista
because
and John
when we got
Cena,
into it, especially, well, I mean, we were watching probably WrestleMania 19 too, but our biggest one was WrestleMania 20, and he returned for the Rock and Sock Connection. So yeah, he wasn't active at all.
Right. When I got into it, he was Hollywood Rock.
Yeah.
So like that.
Hollywood Rock was so good.
Yeah,
too.
that's my favorite version of The Rock.
You like that theme too?
Huh?
The theme?
Oh yes, bro. That's so badass. So yeah, I guess The Rock, but from our generation, pretty much, John Cena and Batista are the biggest.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you say is bigger, John Cena or Batista?
Mm,
Like as far as movie size wise, as far as like skill wise, acting, as far as like you put it all together.
Okay, so they're different paths right now, obviously. So Batista has been in probably some of the most successful stuff with the MCU, and then he had Knock at the Cabin with.
I didn't watch that one.
Neither have I, but I heard he did good.
Yeah, so did
I. Cena did a couple little things, a little serious. Right, the first one I remember is The Marine. I love that movie.
I remember parts of it. Yeah.
What's cool is that the bad guy in that plays his dad in Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Then he did some comedy stuff, and then he found his niche when it comes to comedy. Like he's just a natural dude.
Oh,
he's so good at it, especially Peacemaker and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Who's
the biggest? I guess just because of the box office wise, you have to go Batista.
Yeah,
Batista. Right?
So I would say John Cena's a bigger name, but based off resume, movie wise, you got to go Batista.
Yeah, it'd be like, hey, what movies you been in?
Yeah,
2 of the biggest blockbusters in history, dude. Like,
and I mean, even the Guardians trilogy is still
incredible.
So I mean, he was a main. I mean, I guess he's not essentially a main character, but he's a part of the main team or whatever that's involved in the story. So, but that leads us into Royal Rumble is this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to get into that a little bit
we'll
later.
Get into that later, but I thought perfect segue because I know his moment from the Royal Rumble, I know is going to be on both of our lists.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Do you want to start with tweets of the week or do you want to start with something else?
Let's do tweets of the week if you want to go for it.
Yep. I have a tweet from Wrestle. So we're going to do tweets of the week again. I like tweets of the week because
personally, I really do.
Yeah, I feel like it keeps us involved with the news too, and we get to talk about news.
Yeah, instead of us going breaking news, no, it's tweets of the week. Yeah. Whatever's happening, we're going to let you know.
So I have one from WrestleOps. They just put it out recently. So Randy Orton was on The Bump, which is it's a WWE. Is it a podcast? WWE show.
Yeah.
And he said his dream match would be to somehow find himself in a situation where he's fighting John Cena at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. Aside from the triple threat match at WrestleMania 24 with him, Triple H, and John Cena, Randy Orton and John Cena have never fought one-on-one at WrestleMania.
Which is truly insane to think about.
So I was reading this last night, and then I put it into perspective how, wow, because I was thinking they've never fought at WrestleMania, and then I forgot about the triple threat match with Triple H. So let me ask you this. Out of all of John Cena's rivals, who would you say is the biggest? I think him and Randy is bigger than him and Edge.
Oh, well, that's the two I always think about, him and Edge and him and Randy.
I go Randy just because Randy
longevity wise, they've gone almost.
They went a longer time period.
Yes, because if whenever we did our whole Randy came back or whatever episode it was with us talking about the history of Randy and then also the John Cena is the GOAT type thing, dude, it was almost every so many years their rivalry came back. So it's almost fitting that he wants to go back to it, at least one more run.
They have to run it back one time at WrestleMania, bro.
For the fans,
bro. Just and I don't care what anybody says. Let me put it this way. John Cena could be gone for, let's say, 2 years, right? And he comes back, and Randy Orton has the title, and they throw John Cena right into it, and it's the main event of WrestleMania. I don't think anybody would be mad.
No, not at all.
Nobody would be like, are you kidding me? Like, this person was gone for 2 years, and like, no one would care. The fact that it's them two main event WrestleMania for a title, dude, everyone would be fine with it.
You know who's not going to talk shit? Tony Khan?
Tony Khan.
Yeah, he ain't going to say nothing about that, huh?
Yeah, dude, they have to run it. So let me ask you, do you think that they do end up running it back?
Part
of me wants to say no, sadly.
So as of today, apparently John Cena posted something on his Instagram. Was it the hourglass?
Yeah.
Is his time up?
Yeah.
He keeps on saying he doesn't know how much time he has and how many more he can do.
He's just blown up Hollywood-wise.
Yeah. And he just knows, honestly, his Hollywood career is taken off to where it's now.
It's his main
income. Risk.
Yeah, it's his main income.
Pure risk to be injured in WWE. No. Wishful thinking. Like, I would love for them to, just because, like, obviously the kid in me would love to see that come back, but I don't think so.
If any, I would see them tagging together for like a match, but I don't see them having a full-on feud, especially that would lead to WrestleMania. But you never know. I mean, if his schedule's free and maybe not this WrestleMania, but like the next one, maybe he can show up a few times and get a thing going. But Randy would have to be the champion because Randy's the only one who's doing it full time.
Yeah.
So, I would love it though, bro. I would love it.
God, just thinking about it would be so amazing.
Yeah, but when I wrote it down, I just thought, wow, it really put it into perspective. They haven't gone one-on-one at WrestleMania. That's crazy. You want to
go? Yes. So, WrestleOps, keeping on the same thing. WrestleOps also posted, as we head to WrestleMania 40 season, Brock Lesnar will be back on TV very soon.
Right.
Ideal road to WrestleMania. So, are you okay with Brock coming back?
Oh, yeah, dude.
And if so, since you are, who would you like to see him go against?
So I'm just going to throw out what did the tweet say? What is your ideal road?
Or it's just saying, ideally, it's going to be the road for WrestleMania.
Okay, yes. Thing. So my ideal road for him this is what I think is going to happen with Brock Lesnar. He's going to come back at the Rumble. We're not going to see him till the Rumble.
Is this a breaking news? Like, you have a scoop?
I wish.
Insider?
I wish, bro. So he's going to come back at the Rumble, right? He is going to eliminate Gunther. Gunther is going to lose his shit, and him and Imperium are going to jump Brock. Maybe whether they do it during the Rumble, maybe that's how Brock gets eliminated, or maybe they do it at Raw. I don't know. That is going to lead to them fighting at WrestleMania. Gunther is going to go over on Brock. And that's how I think it goes. Do they have a rematch? I don't know, but I think that is the path that I see for Brock Lesnar.
I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah,
I like the whole showing up at the Rumble. Like, I agree with that.
He'll just be an entrant.
Yeah, I think that as well. And I mean, they had that whole situation was a couple years ago or 2 years ago when they finally faced off inside the Royal Rumble, but that was the only time they ever met. And so people were like, gosh, give us this. And nothing ever came out of it. Yeah, I think it'll be the year to where it happens.
So Gunther this past Monday Night on Raw did a promo, and he talked to, like, he pretty much bragged about how he went, like, he was the longest. I think he went the longest of wrestlers ever gone in a Royal Rumble. And he bragged about that, and he was saying, you know, he feels bad for all the other wrestlers for this Rumble because he's going to do the same thing or whatever, and he's going to win. So I think it's perfect to give Gunther a long run in the Rumble, and then Brock shows up, eliminates him. And then Gunther realizes he doesn't win, and perfect setup for the feud. Now, is it believable that Brock would ever be Intercontinental Champion? 100% no. But, I mean, it's for the story purposes. I mean,
what if, bro?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be crazy.
Like, his last big run in WWE, he takes
Gunther. If Brock did beat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, would you be mad at it? Not the fan, because the fan in you, I know, wouldn't be mad at it.
No, that's what I was just about to say.
But makes sense wise, the person to end Gunther's legendary run, does it make sense for it to be somebody like Brock Lesnar?
No. Yeah. Same reason why it didn't make sense for him to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He doesn't need it.
Yeah.
He's already proven himself time and time again.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to prove that he can beat Gunther's streak. We all, like, universally, the fans kind of know. If anyone could do it, it probably could be him.
No.
But sense-wise for the story, you don't need it.
Story-wise, it doesn't make sense, but as far as overall impact of a wrestler, Brock Lesnar would make sense. It would make sense for a big name like that.
Like truly, like, no pun, the Beast coming back.
But he's not full-time. He'll probably go away again after Mania. So, but that is the path that I see him. But I'm excited. I mean, I know it's the same thing every time that Brock comes back. It's the same shit. Suplex City, demolishes people. But I mean, he's still a legend, bro, and he was my favorite at one point. And it, like I said earlier, we said it before in another episode. If not for him leaving, I think he'd be in everybody's Mount Rushmore for sure.
Most definitely.
So anytime he comes back, dude, I've got to show you respect
every time.
Is that it on that one?
For that, yeah. Do you have any?
Yeah, I have another one. Culture Crave. This tweet is from Culture Crave. The Sopranos creator David Chase says that the 25-year golden era of TV is now over. He blames it on streaming platforms who are adding commercials and asking writers to dumb it down. So I was going to ask, do you agree that, I guess, the 25-year golden era, so what, I guess that, I don't know from what years he didn't specify.
That's what I was going to say, so what years?
My thinking would be the years that The Sopranos came out, the years that Breaking Bad came out, the years like
Office,
the years
all
the years that we had like these great legendary shows that we hear about, like The Wire. Like whenever you gave your top 100 shows list, I feel like most of those shows were older shows.
Yeah, we did discuss that. It was a lot older.
So my guess is he's talking about that. So let me ask you, do you think shows now are not as good as they were back then?
It's also hard to tell because some shows that are starting right now, you don't know how good they're going to be when they end.
That's true. But as far as like hype wise, I don't feel like there's a lot of shows that are
so hype wise. Also comes into where we're at right now with social media, because dude, the hype before, like let's say 20 years ago, dude. If we were watching, let's say if we were watching Sopranos. It's just word of mouth for that one. You're not going to go online and see, oh my God, this episode, this, or whatever. Like, what's going to happen next week? The trailer's going to come out for just the episode. We have no idea.
Yeah. But I feel like that. But I feel like you're right. It wouldn't have been that way. But the fact that Sopranos still is like highly regarded as one
of the best shows.
So many people know about the Sopranos. And that was even before a time where word of mouth, like, it was all just word of mouth.
Yeah.
It was no social media marketing. Like, maybe you saw a commercial, but it was no, like, Twitter, no. And the fact that it is that big, like, it's crazy. It's a crazy accomplishment. So I would just say, off the top of my head, yes. I would say that shows back then were better than shows are now.
Yeah.
Even though, granted, like, because I'm trying to think, okay, right now, in our day, right now, this year, what is a show that has hella ton of hype? Other than House of Dragon.
Cobra Kai. No. House of Dragons, Last of Us. I mean, Game of Thrones didn't end the way people wanted it to happen. So
but it still had so much hype.
No, yeah, so much hype with it. Would that fall into the 25
That's what I'm saying.
years?
I don't know. I wish maybe if I would have but I didn't watch the full interview. I just saw the tweet. So I don't know exactly what 25 years he's talking about, but my assumption would be
98 through
98 to whatever 25 plus years is.
So 98 through 23, I guess.
Maybe. No, is that 23? Is it?
Is it?
We're bad at math. Yeah, I think it is.
Well, 99 to so
yeah.
Because if it was 25 years, it'll be 2000 to 2025, let alone 98.
I will say I feel like shows now there's hella shows to watch now. Maybe compared to back then.
Do you think do you think shows just have to be careful now? They're just not able to free write whatever they wanted to the way they used to be able to back in the day.
I do think
to where they.
Well, that's what he's saying. He's saying studios are asking writers to dumb it down. And to just be like, I guess not as maybe he means like not as edgy or maybe not as
edgy, not as
deep,
raunchy,
like,
and you don't want to get canceled and all that stuff.
Yep. I'm watching The Office again. I'm watching The Office still, dude. And I need to start writing down the scenes so I can talk about it on here because so many times, bro,
it's hard though because you said that it's just the background stuff too.
Yeah. So I mainly put it on when I'm putting Jaden into bed, and then I'll just leave it on after. But so many times I just think I'll laugh and I just think, bro, that wouldn't fly. And I'll think, okay, I'm going to talk to Vincent about it. And I completely forget about the scenes. But like yesterday,
sorry, I get this one back.
Sorry. I know we're getting back off track.
No, you're good.
With The Office. But yesterday, I'm watching the episode where Ryan got promoted to corporate, right?
Yeah.
So he comes back and Kelly's there. Kelly dresses up in all her makeup and shit. And they're pretty much talking shit. And Ryan's like, you can't talk to me that way. I'm your boss. And she goes, well, I'm pregnant. And then they show her in the thing, and she goes, so,
remember that one.
And she's like, fuck, and I just think, bro, what this crazy ass bit, like, and
she's so toxic.
Yes, bro. And then I watched the episode where she what's the word that I'm looking for here? She was behind Dwight and Jim getting bad performance reviews because she plagiarized them. Like, she was mad that they didn't go to her party. And so
I think I remember that one, yeah.
And so Michael is like, or something about, so then Kelly goes, I was raped. And Michael goes, Kelly, you can't just say you were raped and all your problems go away. Not again. And I just think, bro, like, I just, bro, it's so crazy how, like, they were able to just talk so freely. They were just able to let it fly and it was on TV. Not like it was on Netflix or anything. It was on actual TV.
Yeah.
And, so, yeah, I mean, but I guess I would say that shows aren't as big impact-wise, I guess, today. Like, off the top of my head, I can only think of House of Dragon and Stranger Things right now. That have hella hype to where everybody watches it.
Last of Us.
Even Last of Us.
But it's only one season, but still.
Yeah, but House of Dragon was only 1 year, but it got to bounce off Game of Thrones, and Game of Thrones, the impact was crazy.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot more shows, but I don't watch. Like, everyone likes Bear right now.
Yeah, I need to
Suits
watch
is
it.
hot right now too, but at the same
I
time,
don't
Suits was back then, and then now it's coming back to the light.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought that was an interesting one.
Do you have another?
No, that's it. I only had 2.
So this one I did not send to you because I want your opinion on it, and then
Okay.
the next one I'm gonna say we're gonna probably talk about that one pretty
All
good.
right.
This one from I think it's Reno the bouncer. This person pops up. He talks a lot about games.
Okay.
How true is this? I don't know, but we're going to discuss it because I know we'll like this one. Ubisoft Singapore lead cinematic designer Isaac Tan lists, quote, unannounced Assassin's Creed project on LinkedIn as a project he's been working on since last year. The project is quite likely to be rumored. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag remake.
Oh, I fully think that they're making
which was reported back last year. What do you think about that?
So I would assume when they say remake, I would assume remastered.
I would think so.
Yeah. If remastered, I'm getting that edition no matter what. I can still play Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and the graphics on it still look decent to me. Like even on my Xbox. Black Flag is my favorite Assassin's Creed. And I do think that they're gonna remaster it because we saw those. Was it last year that we went through that little phase where people were talking about it?
Yeah, because they were giving off a whole bunch of I guess the projects are coming up. Yeah. So we had which one that just came out?
What is it?
They're in Iran or something like that. Yeah.
Assassin's Creed beige or what is it?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
but
it's basic though. I know that.
So yeah, that's the one that came. It's based in Iran.
Yeah,
and then we have the Assassin's Creed Red, which is going to be the one that I feel I've been waiting for in Japan or China. Japan? Yeah. And then something else is coming out too. But nonetheless, dude, a remaster be gorgeous on these consoles right now,
especially for Black Flag. Black Flag, I would say out of all the Assassin's Creed games, Black Flag is the best visually.
Mm-hmm.
Like the visual aspect of it all is the best. I mean, you can't beat the location. The location is literally
so
the beach, and it's like you get to go to Nassau when it's ran by pirates, and you're in the Caribbean before, like and so graphic wise or scenery wise. No game beats Black Flag, in my opinion.
I agree.
So yeah, but I'm getting the remaster no matter what.
And if it's a remake, I'd still be excited.
Oh, and if it's a remake, yeah, I'll still be
excited.
Whole
new telling about just a whole pirate adventure.
Yeah.
I'd be so
Me
down.
too.
Okay. This one I feel like we're going to talk about a little bit, or I could be wrong. So Variety came out with an article yesterday morning. I saw this and I read the whole thing and I thought, wow, this is insane to think about. Saying that DC's superheroes, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, will all be up for public domain in the next decade or in 10 years.
Right.
So Superman will be up in 2034, Batman 2035, the Joker up 2036, and Wonder Woman up 2037. With some aspects of the character will not be included in the public domain, such as Robin won't be allowed to be with Batman, Kryptonite won't be allowed to be with Superman. Lois can be with Superman, but not Kryptonite because that's semi new to the character. Mm-hmm. This Superman iteration,
it's only like their original iteration.
The original iteration of Superman. So Superman nowadays can fly. Back then, Superman can only leap very high, run super fast, or faster than a locomotive.
Right.
Lift heavy things, leap buildings, tall buildings, a single bound or whatever they called it. So with all that, how do you feel about people having access to a public domain of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Joker, but the Trinity?
First thoughts, how I feel about that is in 10 years I'm gonna be 37, so it just makes me depressed, honestly, just to think about like we would both be 37. Like that's just saddening.
Dude, it's even worse thinking the girls are gonna be 10.
Yeah, I mean, I just think how am I gonna do it at 37, bro? That's crazy. I like it and I don't like it. I like it because we can, like, if you look at the bigger picture, like, who's to say the MCU is still not going around, and they could bring a character that's just like Superman and just like Batman and implement them in the MCU, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, the MCU probably won't be around, but things like that, those possibilities are cool. But also I think, I don't want to fucking go through a horror movie of, like how everyone's doing the horror movies of Winnie the Pooh and all that shit. Like,
Steamboat Willie just got public domain, and now that as soon as the day public domain or January 1st will happen. Boom, a movie got introduced.
Yeah, but then I say that, But then I think how cool would it be to see like these DC superheroes in like a really darker, like almost Watchmen type area, like movie style, like just a dark movie, like a Batman who like they can do Batman, but this Batman fucking kills people and like.
So you're saying Zack Snyder's vision?
No, like I don't know.
The article brings up Snyder's vision, saying that the stuff we would have got with his Justice League 2 and 3 would have been such dark stuff, and they're saying if anything in 10 years, if Zack wants to try it, he can. He just can't call it Justice League.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it's like I'm torn because there's things that you could do that could be like how we had the Brightburn movie. I know you didn't really watch it, but Brightburn, it was okay movie. But
I get the gist of it.
But the concept is what's cool, and if someone gets their hands on that can do it in a right way, like bro, I mean you have so much potential there. But also, like I said, and I saw that DC's trademarking like the S for Superman.
So yeah, what's smart about them in the article
and that's why they're constantly changing them.
They're stating that eventually the characters have to evolve. The characters constantly have to upgrade no matter what and feel fresh, feel new. All that stuff is still trademark license and not a part of public domain. So yes, the S being a certain way is different. Like we said, Kryptonite, Robin, the Bat family, all this stuff is still locked up. Right. You can't touch that at all.
Yeah.
It's just the original way, especially for Batman, the way he came out in Detective Comics 27. The way Bill Finger and Bob Kane introduced him, that's it. Yeah. That's the way you're going. So with that, Batman's design will be the black and gray suit. The Bat logo is only going to be just a small black Bat logo, no yellow around it like some iterations are. Personally, I don't care if the yellow there or not.
I don't care either.
And the purple gloves. He had purple gloves in the first time he showed up.
Crazy.
Which is crazy. Is also the first original design for Batman was from Bob Kane. Dude, not looking like Batman. He had a full red suit with almost a Robin type mask, and just black bat wings. And I think Bill Finger's the one who changed it and said, "No, we're going this version," and that's what we got now.
Well, let me ask you, how do you feel? You're a big Batman fan. How do you feel about him entering the public domain?
It'll be interesting to see what happens because you're gonna have a lot of endless possibilities with crossovers. The article was saying, dude, you can have even what they're doing now, they have a Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, but you can strictly have a movie of Superman versus Godzilla. You can have Batman versus this, Batman versus that. So there's a lot of possibilities, and it could be really cool. But I just don't want it to affect DC, which sucks because we have a 10-year plan right now with James Gunn's DC universe. How's that going to affect it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it really just depends on who's making it. Like, if you have some studio, like, I don't know who's making these Winnie the Pooh movies, and isn't Mickey Mouse joining the public domain too or something?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Steamboat Willie.
Yeah,
like it's not Mickey Mouse. You're not going to use the new version. You're going to have the black and white version. He can't have the gloves on. He can't be oh boy. He can't be doing none of that stuff. So like
I don't know who those are, and so I think the fact that I don't know who those are is the reason I don't care about these movies. But I think if somebody, a big name, gets their hands on and tries to do like a Superman, or Batman type deal, I think that has the potential to be big.
An A24 type Batman movie,
like, that would be
Joker
crazy.
A24. Hey, Jordan Peele doing a Joker movie later down the line. Who knows where the possibility? Like all this stuff could be really good or really bad. I just don't know how it's going to affect DC.
Yeah.
But luckily, DC, like we said, they've covered their asses and at least evolved the characters.
Yeah, which is good. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting, bro. It really, I didn't know about public domain until I started seeing. Who was the first one that got that?
The first one that really hit us
was it Winnie the Pooh?
Winnie the Pooh stuff, where I guess a lot of people started talking about public domain. Yeah, I mean, it's been there.
I know it's been there, right?
We just haven't really brought it up until everyone was like, the hell is Winnie the Pooh about
to
be
because these are the first years where these legendary characters are up for it, and so that's why it causes discussion.
Yeah, because a lot of the contracts were all 100 years, 200-year type contracts, which was, at the time, insane to think about. So those people that wrote those contracts, they're all long gone.
Yeah.
But now we're in the era right now, it's where it's up.
It's crazy.
So it's insane to think about.
That is crazy. Is that all you have on there?
Yeah, so I think that's it for Tweets of the Week.
So we have MCU Phase 2 rankings, and we can talk about the Rumble. Which one would you prefer to do next?
Let's knock out Phase 2 rankings.
Okay. So we are going to rank our MCU Phase 2 because we ranked MCU Phase 1 not too long ago. So figure we can get these out the way. So we're going to do a little different this time. So I guess we can just name them randomly, and then we'll say where we have them at, and then we can talk about them.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, I like that.
So just say a random one.
Iron Man 3.
So I have Iron Man 3 at spot number 4.
Iron Man 3 at spot number 4.
Okay, perfect. So Iron Man 3 is the one that remember the last
Trevor, dude.
Yes.
I was thinking, how come I can't remember the Mandarin's name? It's Trevor.
Yeah.
As soon as we got done, I was thinking, why didn't I think about that, dude? Like every time I'm like, we're not on the pod, and just we've talked about this before.
It just
Stuff just slips, dude. Us talking outside of this, that
right.
quick, dude.
Yeah.
But yes, it's Trevor.
Yes. So my favorite spots of that was the Trevor scene, because I just remember thinking, what the fuck is that, the Mandarin? Like, because I had never seen Iron Man 3 till recently. So whenever in Shang-Chi, like I said earlier in another episode,
that's funny.
When he showed up in Shang-Chi, I knew he was from the Mandarin, but I didn't know like he played this scary type terrorist character in Iron Man 3.
He's cool as like that scary version. He's good.
So when I was watching Iron Man 3 and I saw him, I thought, what the I guess the Mandarin though itself had the potential to be such a great villain, and they kind of just like tease you and then they just scrap it all and like make him funny. Who's the main villain in Iron Man 3? What's his name?
I don't remember his name, but I think is it Guy Pearce? Is that the actor? Or whatever. What annoyed me is at the very end when he starts like getting those powers and he goes, "I'm the Mandarin," and I thought, "Shut your ass up!" But that's when all the Iron Man suits came alive and they all started fighting and all that stuff, which was like a cool visual,
right?
But I don't care.
Yeah, Pepper gets
her suit as rescue.
Yeah, but she also has the fire in her. What do they inject the stuff
I don't
in
remember.
her? Yeah. I forget what it's called. We should have done more research. Yeah, but that part obviously I knew, so I watched Iron Man 3 late, so I knew obviously they get it out of her. Mm-hmm. But I thought, oh shit, like they actually put it in Pepper, and she had the fire powers. But it was cool seeing all the Iron Man. I would say Iron Man 3 is like my least favorite out of all the Iron Man movies, but I thought it was an entertaining movie.
That's crazy. They take his whole house down, dude.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Well, because he tells the Mandarin, pull up. Like, I ain't fucking scared. And then they pull up, bro, and they mess his shit up.
Yep.
So, that was crazy. So, yeah, I mean, it was good.
Another entry to where it shows Robert Downey Jr., dude, his acting chops are pretty good in it.
Yeah.
I saw this interview, or I heard about this interview, him saying that he believes some of his best acting is as Tony Stark.
Right.
But no one pays attention because
it's a superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Okay. You want to name the next movie?
Yeah, another one. Thor: Dark World.
All right.
Where do you have it at?
Thor: The Dark World is my number 6.
Yeah, it's my number 6 too.
Yeah,
it's whatever. You know, like I told you I watched the Thor movies for the first time. I'd never seen the first and second one. I didn't think they were bad movies. I almost appreciate the darker tone just because the past few MCU projects have just been too much in the comedy aspect. But yeah, I mean it's okay.
Villain lackluster to me.
Oh, for sure.
The whole Jane aspect. I mean, I guess it's cool, but to me it was just personally boring.
Yeah,
it was just boring to me.
The villain. Oh God, I need to start writing these names now.
His name starts with the M, right?
Yeah, I feel like could have. He was an elf, right?
Yeah, he was an elf.
Yeah. I thought he could have been so much cooler, but they kind of just he's whatever. So.
No, yeah.
Another one. Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Avengers: Age of Ultron I have at my number 2.
Oh wow, I thought that would be your number 1. I have it at my number 3.
Gotcha.
I told you I watched it recently, and I apologize to you. I thought it sucked, and I watched it again, and it doesn't suck. But it's not. I have it at 3. Like it was good, but it wasn't.
Like we said before on this pod, James Spader I remember them casting saying he was going to be Ultron, and I thought, perfect, because I just heard the voice. I knew he wasn't going to dress up as no big ass robot. I knew he was going to be
him in the office. All he says is, "This world revolves around sex." That's all. Every time he gives one of his speeches, bro, he always says, "What is the world?" Sex. And he does this thing with his mouth up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Dude, Robert California.
Yeah,
dude.
He's so funny in the office, bro.
When he showed up in the off subject wing, and when he shows up in the office, I thought, what the hell is Ultron doing here?
Yeah.
But yeah, him as Ultron, I thought was beautiful. I was talking to Marco about this. I still think his entrance, I guess his entrance inside Avengers Tower, they're just chilling, trying to lift up Thor's hammer. Him
He's
walking
that broken
out
robot
as a broken android.
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. His whole monologue was intense. I just remember watching it, just going, "Oh, this is so good."
I guess that's where I kind of fall because I feel like he could be so much more. And so in the movie, I feel like it just wasn't. But maybe that's not the movie's fault. Maybe he should have been not killed, and maybe he could be in another thing. I just feel like he could be so much more, especially because What If showed like what he really full potential, right?
Yeah, and he was badass.
Yeah, so maybe that's why I kind of just get underwhelmed by him. But I mean, he was good.
I like that he can truly just be anywhere.
Yeah.
Like if a bot is over there, he'll just transfer into that bot, talk some shit, come back to his full body.
Right.
In that movie, we also got the Hulkbuster versus the Hulk.
That was actually a good fight.
It was a great fight.
They tear that city up, like I was saying before. Like they're in Africa, I think.
Yeah.
And they messed that place up.
And like how you mentioned before, Claw is introduced.
Mm-hmm.
That whole scene was really good. I just love that Ultron gives one of the best disses to Captain America. Like Captain's trying to say some speech, and he goes, "Yeah." He's like, "If I can't physically throw up," he goes, "But," and I was like, "God, bro."
Okay, another one.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. I have it at my number 5.
I have it at my number 5.
Okay, cool. So I will say, Ant-Man is like, I didn't think it was like super funny. Like I remember when we worked at the theater actually when that movie came out. And I remember everyone talking about how funny it was. I didn't think so. But I will say the visuals in that movie, like whenever they shrink down to where like the ants and whenever Ant-Man is small and like especially the sewer scene where he's floating in the sewer, those look amazing. Mm-hmm. And so I will say like visually the movie was really good. Story-wise it was okay.
I like that it didn't have to be a big world fighting type thing. It was straight in this city.
Yeah.
Something's happening. But yet, a couple blocks over, they have no idea what
they had another Avenger in it, but it wasn't like a big name Avenger to where it overshadows. It was Cap's friend. What's his name? Falcon. Yeah, Sam. And so it wasn't something that like would overshadow Ant-Man. It was. I thought it was perfect. And yeah, I mean, seeing a movie like that where like they shrink all the time and like that was cool. I thought visually it looked really good. I didn't think that there were many parts where it's
crazy. The big final ending, dude, is on a train track inside a kid's bedroom. That's insane.
Yeah,
it's cool though.
So and I liked it because the final battle is so intense, and then like it'll show the outside perspective, and you'll see the train just flip over.
But bro, when they're in it, bro,
it's crazy.
It's good. It's not too crazy. I didn't watch it in theaters.
I didn't watch it in theaters either.
I think Ant-Man Quantumania was the only movie for Ant-Man I've watched in theaters.
Yeah. I just remember seeing the Civil War the lead up end credit scene all the time because we would have to clean the theaters.
We watched that countless times.
Yeah.
Okay. Your mom's name is Sarah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I have it at my number 3.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, because you had Avengers at 2, right? I have my Guardians of the Galaxy at 2.
Gotcha. Guardians.
I love that movie.
Group that at least the casual movie fans, casual superhero fans have not heard of. If you were a diehard, I'm not going to say diehard, but if you were in the comics for Marvel, you knew who the Guardians were. Me, no idea who the hell they were. All I knew was Batista's going to be in a Marvel movie? That's badass.
Yeah.
Did not honestly know the name of Star-Lord.
I know. I'm trying to think of the name because I knew you were going to ask. I knew you were going to say.
So Zoe Saldana's in it. Dave Bautista's in
Chris
it.
Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Thank you, God. Okay. And Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
I obviously Bradley I know. I knew Zoe Saldana. I knew Dave Bautista. I had no idea who Chris Pratt was.
Chris Pratt was on Parks and Rec, which I never watched, but Teresa did. She loves it. But yeah, I had no idea who the Guardians of the Galaxy were. That movie, I've seen some people say it doesn't do a good job portraying how badass they actually are in comics, especially Drax. Like they make Drax really stupid, but Drax is crazy
Destroyer,
badass.
In the comics is insane.
Yeah. So I have seen some diehard people do that, but for me, I mean, they did a good job making them badass, and I think they're all funny, and I think they're all badass, and I love their trilogy. Yeah. So Guardians of the Galaxy is a movie that I would recommend to somebody. If you don't like superhero movies, I think you would still like Guardians of the Galaxy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if there was one movie to recommend to somebody who doesn't like superhero movies, but this one almost doesn't even feel too superhero-y. So
I'm gonna call her out right now. Lauren didn't like Guardians.
She didn't?
Well, she said she didn't. She just thought it's just space stuff. Like I could care less. So when I told you she's watching the MCU stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I want to say when she got to Guardians, she was like, I'm not looking forward to watching it.
I feel that way now because I'm still on my rewatching, and so I finished Civil War, and afterwards, I thought, because they give the end credit scene for Spider-Man and they give the end credit scene for Black Panther. So I'm thinking, fuck yes, like Spider-Man, Homecoming and Black Panther to rewatch, and no, Doctor Strange is next. So I'm just like kind of powering through it. It's a good movie, but it like hype wise, I was looking forward to watching Black Panther again. Okay, so that leaves our last one, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
At number one.
Yeah, that movie is amazing to me.
It's beautiful.
And because of Winter Soldier and Civil War, I'm telling, dude, I know we want to talk about it in an episode, who has the best trilogy, but like, bro, those two movies put Captain America, it's hard to beat that.
Yeah.
The Civil War and Winter Soldier are amazing movies in my opinion.
They're amazing. But what's crazy is like when you think about Civil War, it's technically Avengers 2. Like,
yeah,
it's a Avenger level movie,
right?
So it kind of has the edge, and it's like a disadvantage compared to others. Like you're comparing a third Captain America compared to Iron Man 3, Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, Ragnarok has a Hulk and everything, but still, it's like
no. I thought about that. I thought about that watching Civil War. I thought, well, is that fair to say because Captain America does have Iron Man. He does have Scarlet Witch. He does have Black Widow. He does have Black Panther. That's our first introduction MCU wise in Civil War for Black Panther and Spider-Man. So like that is kind of unfair, but like it's such a good movie, bro. I love it.
No, it's great.
But going back to Winter Soldier is amazing also.
Yeah.
And it's a truly just Captain America movie. What, you just get Black Widow in it?
Yeah.
Like as far as other
Widow
Avengers?
and Falcon.
Yeah, but Falcon's, that's where they make Falcon. Like Falcon's not Falcon yet.
Oh yeah. Right.
So
yeah, on your left.
Yeah. So like as a single movie, Winter Soldier, dude, is up there for one of the best movies.
Some of the best fights we've seen in the MCU.
George St. Pierre.
Oh, dude, yes, I love that beginning scene. He jumps out the plane. Him and Black Widow are just talking about like dates and everything like that. Jumps out the plane. They're like, "Did you have a parachute?" Nope. And then he gets on that cargo ship, fights George St. Pierre, and it was such a good fight.
It was such
him
a
and Bucky as the Winter Soldier. Their fight in the street, incredible, dude. Some of that knife work was great. I still think Captain America Winter Soldier, his suit in that has to be one of my favorite suits Captain's ever had, dude.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Beautiful.
Well, it's because it's like he went from being lame ass Captain America in Captain America 1, but in Winter Soldier, he's like got the swag to him. That's it's just different almost in a way. It's like maybe he just adapted to the time. I don't know, but it's
he's still
different.
learning.
What's weird though is there's so much sexual tension between Black Widow and Cap, and it's just never discussed again. I guess the only time you would say it's discussed again is in Avengers 2 when Bruce, Black Widow was flirting with Bruce, and Cap goes up to him and is like, what does he say?
He makes some suggestion that he knows stuff about her or whatever, and then Bruce is like, well, how do you know that? Or something.
So I guess that's the only other time that they discuss it. But after that, I mean, bro, they have so much sexual tension in that movie, and they don't do.
They kiss on the escalator, but that was trying to prove a distraction or something like that. Oh, and then we have one of the best scenes, bro. The whole, if anyone wants to get off, do so now.
So bad.
That elevator scene was so great, dude.
Winter Soldier too. When they show Winter Soldier, looks like a tank, bro. He looks scary, so badass. Yeah, I love Winter Soldier, bro. That you said it. You put the nail on the head. The action sequences in that movie are so good.
Russo brothers.
Yep. I'd say Civil War and Winter Soldier have some of the best action in all of MCU.
Most definitely.
So just so off the top, just putting them all together. These are my MCU Phase 2 rankings. In order from worst to best. I have Thor: The Dark World at 6, Ant-Man at 5, Iron Man 3 at 4, Avengers: Age of Ultron at 3, Guardians of the Galaxy at 2, and Captain America: Winter Soldier at 1.
And for me, my MCU Phase 2 rankings, from 6 to 1. At number 6, Thor: The Dark World. 5, Ant-Man. 4, Iron Man 3. 3, Guardians of the Galaxy. 2, Avengers: Age of Ultron. And number 1, Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Phase 2 honestly wasn't bad though. Looking at it,
it wasn't.
I mean, I would say
the weakest one is Thor.
Yeah, I would say Avengers: Age of Ultron, Guardians of the Galaxy, Winter Soldier are three of the most talked about movies. I would say MCU wise. Ant-Man, Iron Man 3 kind of forgotten about, but a lot of people liked Ant-Man too. So I mean, 4 out of the 6 movies there I'd say were very successful. So. But yeah, that's not bad. You want to get into some Rumble talk now?
Yeah, let's move on real quick.
So we have the Royal Rumble this weekend. The time this episode comes out, it'll be Royal Rumble weekend. So off the top of your head, I know you're gonna find a list. How high do you regard the Royal Rumble and all of your favorite pay-per-views?
It's number
like,
2.
Obviously, I'd say obviously
WrestleMania
WrestleMania is probably 1. You'd say Royal Rumble's number 2?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is for me, but
it's just the road that leads to WrestleMania.
I've never been big on the Royal Rumble like
really?
that, though. Obviously it's the Royal Rumble. It's a lot of hype.
The big 3 is Mania, Rumble, Survivor Series.
I was gonna say I almost like the 5-on-5 Survivor Series type deal, and then now that they've entered War Games, I feel like it's even more entertaining.
I just feel like it for a little bit too.
Sometimes the Royal Rumble is boring, and there's been a lot of boring Royal Rumbles. I feel like.
Yeah, we're about to get into a list about it too.
Yeah. Who would you say is the? I know you're gonna do a list before you do your list. Who would you say is the most forgettable Royal Rumble winner? I already know who I'm gonna say.
I don't know because I forgot.
Alberto Del Rio won the Royal Rumble. That was the year that they did the 40.
Oh, okay,
40 people.
Okay, yeah.
I just thought, God, what a waste! What a fucking waste.
So from the time of this recording, it's still next week. But by the time this episode comes out, it will be Saturday, January 27th. The Royal Rumble will take place in St. Petersburg, Florida. Shout out. Why? Just cause. So for those who do not know, I thought I can list or name or say the rules of the Royal Rumble for those who do not know. The rules of the Royal Rumble: 2 superstars will kick off the Rumble in the ring, and a new competitor enters the match every 90 seconds. A wrestler can only be eliminated by going over the top rope with both feet touching the floor outside. The winner of each Royal Rumble gets to choose a champion of their choice to face at WrestleMania 40, which will take place in Philadelphia, home of ECW, home of Rocky, and I think we both agree, screw the Eagles.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we found a list from Sportster.com that is 22 best Royal Rumble matches according to the fans' votes. The way I figured this one, we can play this one out because it's 22. We don't want to spend too much time on it. Give the ranking, give the year, give the winner. If we have a comment, reaction, we can say it. If not, we'll just move on to the next one. All right. So at number 22, we have the 2021 Men's Royal Rumble match. And the winner of that one was Edge. Number 21, the only 40-man Royal Rumble match in 2011.
That's what I'm talking about.
At Alberto Del Rio. At number 20, this is insane. Rey Mysterio as the winner of the 2006 Royal Rumble. I know I flipped that. I'm sorry. But the 2006 Royal Rumble match with Rey Mysterio as the winner of that one. Any comments on that one?
So I was going to tell you that it was a while ago. I don't remember what episode. We never did our introduction. we are like 45 minutes in and we never did our sorry guys, Lame Guys podcast episode. We may just edit this and put it in the front maybe. Jesus. Episode 15. I'm Mario.
I'm Vincent.
And Jesus, dude,
welcome.
I can't believe we forgot. I was going to say a while back on an episode, I was telling you how I thought Dom was going to have a better career than Rey Mysterio. And I was telling you how his run to us was important because we were big Eddie fans. But I've seen a lot of people say, like I've even read people on Reddit that say they were at WrestleMania in Chicago the year that Rey won, and the crowd was not for Rey like it's portrayed to be. Like the crowd was more so for Randy and Kurt Angle.
Really?
And I told you before that I didn't think a lot of people were even interested in Rey. Like it was cool for the story, but after that it was whatever. So it being at 20, I mean, if it truly is a fan vote, then I mean that makes sense with what I read.
So for this one, just going into it, Rey Mysterio spent 1 hour and 2 minutes and 12 seconds into the match. The most eliminations in the match was by Rey Mysterio and Triple H with 6 each. The final 4 was Randy Orton, Triple H, and RVD, and Rey Mysterio. And for the fans, they voted it, CageMatch.net rating it a 6.78. So yeah, I guess saying that, it makes sense. Moving on to number 19, the 1990 Royal Rumble match. The winner, Hulk Hogan. Garbage. Number 18, the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match in 2018, with the winner being, why is this messing up? Asuka. Number 17, the 1997 Royal Rumble, with the winner, Stone Cold. Number 16, 2021 Women's Royal Rumble match. That was a good one, but that was COVID time. The winner being Bianca Belair. Number 15, the 2002 Royal Rumble match, with the winner being Triple H. Number 14, which honestly, I forgot about this one.
I forgot about a lot of these Royal Rumbles.
Number 14, it says a rare SmackDown Royal Rumble match.
Eddie won that one.
Eddie Guerrero winning. Number 13, the 2016 Royal Rumble match, with the winner Triple H, which is insane to think about.
He won the title. That was the title.
Yeah. Number 12, the 2023 last year's Royal Rumble match, with the winner being the American Dream or the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Number 11, 2010 Royal Rumble match, with the winner Edge. Number 10, this is good, the top 10. Royal Rumble in 2003, the winner being Brock Lesnar. Number 9, the 2009 Royal Rumble match, winner Randy Orton. Mm-hmm. Number 8, the 05 Royal Rumble match, insane Royal. I had this DVD. With the winner being Batista. That was the whole.
Yep. Well, we'll talk about it here in a
minute. Number 7, it says a fan favorite, Victor, in the 2018 men's Royal Rumble match, with the winner Shinsuke Nakamura. Number 6, I love this one, the 2008 Royal Rumble match, with the winner John Cena. Mm-hmm. Number 5, 2020 men's Royal Rumble, Drew McIntyre as the winner. Number 4, the 2001 Stone Cold Steve Austin. Number 3, the 2004 Royal Rumble match, Chris Benoit as the winner. Number 2, 1992 Royal Rumble, with the winner Ric Flair. And number 1, voted by CageNet, the 2007 Royal Rumble, with the winner Undertaker.
Yep. Jeez, that was a lot. You gotta catch your breath.
Yeah. Go for
it. So we just wanted to name, I know that was a lot to take in. So those were 22, right? 22 of the best so-called Royal Rumble matches voted by fans. But some of my favorite Royal Rumble matches. So I'll give you my favorites, and then we can just talk about it. Okay. So these are in no order. I just wrote down 5 that I like, and I wrote down some honorable mentions. Royal Rumble 2005. Batista won that one. Royal Rumble 2003, Brock won that one. Royal Rumble 2007, I had it on DVD. Undertaker won that one. 2004, Chris Benoit won that one. It was a little sensitive topic,
hey, we ain't going to have WWE on that one.
But I had it on VHS, and that one holds a special place in my heart because I do think it was actually a good Royal Rumble as well. John Cena returning in 2008, he won that Royal Rumble. Some honorable mentions that I have: 2002, Triple H returned, and we got that crazy segment with Maven and Taker. Insane. And then Royal Rumble 2006 when Ray won for Eddie.
I have these in an order, but it was just top of my head type thing. But at the same time, these can go anyway, except for number 1. Honorable mention will be the 2001 Royal Rumble where Stone Cold won, but that one, Kane brought in everything but the kitchen sink, dude.
Yeah, I remember.
He eliminated 11 people.
Yeah. It was the record, right? He still holds it. Does he still hold it? I don't know for sure.
I'll figure it out later. But yeah, so that was a good one as honorable mention. 2008, John Cena as the winner, returning. 23, Cody winning. 2005, Batista winning. 2006, Rey Mysterio. And no surprise, 2007, Undertaker winning.
Yeah. The Undertaker one, I was a little pissed about because it was him and Shawn left, and I just wanted Shawn to pull it out. And he was even in his DX pants.
Dude, his attire on that was so clean,
and Triple H got hurt, and I wanted, even though Shawn ended up still going to main event WrestleMania, he was still the main event actually, even though Taker won the Royal Rumble. Taker fought Batista, and they were like mid-cardy, and then Shawn and John Cena were the main event at 23.
Which is insane.
Yeah, even though Shawn didn't win the Royal Rumble. But that was a good one. Let's talk about it, bro. 2005 Royal Rumble. Batista won that Royal Rumble. And for people who don't watch wrestling, if you're still watching, because I know a lot of people don't like to listen to wrestling, John Cena and Batista were on the collision course to be like the 2 biggest faces of WWE. And Batista won the Royal Rumble, but I've sent the video to you before. I love when Edge retells the story. He retells it so perfect. So pretty much, John Cena and Batista were the last 2. Batista was supposed to eliminate John Cena, but Batista ended up falling up also. And I don't think you could ever do this perfectly again.
They
but
can
just
never
by
recreate this.
just by pure coincidence, they touch the ground at the same exact time. Like, let's say this happens. Let's say this accident happens where Batista falls out, even though he's not supposed to, right? But John Cena hits the floor first. Then you can kind of save it by, John Cena hit the floor first. No, they literally hit it, bro, at the same exact time, which is that's probably the most insane part of this story.
It truly is.
And so then they had to just scrap everything and go on the fly. And so, like, the SmackDown ref grabbed John Cena's hand, the Raw ref grabbed Batista's hand.
Funny thing is, they had no idea who won.
They had no idea what was happening, and they literally just did this off the dome. And so so you're in this scenario, and Vince McMahon comes out
Pissed,
doing his signature walk. And what does this man do? He tears his quads
entering
as he
the ring.
gets in the ring, bro.
both
Both of them. So he stands up, but his quads tear, so he falls down. So he's yelling from the floor,
and everyone's looking down at him, trying to explain what the hell just happened. And he's in pain.
Yeah,
but he
stays
still
in character.
Stays in character. Ends up saying the match is going to be restarted with these two back in the ring, and they go at it again. And lo and behold, Batista wins.
Yeah,
but you can't write that.
You can never redo that moment again.
There's no way in hell you can ever do that.
Because, like I said, let's say two wrestlers do mess up like they did. One is more, I'd say 95% of the time going to touch the floor before the other one does. No, bro. John Cena and Batista touch the floor at the same exact time. I watched that video multiple times just trying to see if one does touch.
They touch
the same time.
Dude, not only they touch, they plop hard on that mat. Like, because Batista was going for, I'm guessing, a Batista bomb. They were close by the ropes. He lost his balance. So John Cena was lifted over his head. You would expect Cena to hit first. They didn't. They both went over the rope at the same exact time and hit the ground simultaneously.
Which is crazy. You'll never be able to redo that moment again. Because let's say it was scheduled. Let's say it was planned. More than likely, like I'm saying, one person is going to touch the ground before the other person. But no, bro, they touched it. It's just crazy.
It's insane. It's one of those things where it'll go in like Royal Rumble history.
Yeah. I put Triple H as an honorable mention in 2002 because that is the first Royal Rumble I watched full through. I didn't watch it live, but I watched it on YouTube and I watched it from start to finish. So that's like one of the first Royal Rumbles that I watched the whole way through. And then 2004 is the one that I got on VHS. I had that one on VHS. We talked about it recently, actually, when we talked about Eddie Guerrero and Chavo.
Yeah.
So that Royal Rumble holds a special place in my heart because it was Randy Orton came in at number 2 and he lasted a long time. Even though the winner, it's you know it's a sad story what happened, but so no one talks about the 2004 Royal Rumble ever. But that one holds a special place in my heart.
I only watch a lot of highlights from it because I watched the WrestleMania 20.
Yeah, well,
and
it leads,
and they lead straight into
it leads up to WrestleMania 20, and that's arguably my favorite WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of those. The Batista Cena thing, big situation. The Rey Mysterio winning in 2006, him winning in memory of Eddie type thing, that was pretty big. And then he goes on to go to WrestleMania 22, and he wins the title. Eddie Guerrero passed away previous, so yeah, he dedicated that whole match to Eddie. It made sense. Let's see, Cena returning in 2008. What injury was it?
He tore his shoulder whenever Randy Orton RKO'd him on the table and it didn't break.
So he wasn't expected to show up at
he
all.
tore his shoulder and his pec, I think, or it was a bad surgery. It was
like
bad.
That. Freak of nature, John Cena is Super Cena type shit.
I just remember Triple H staring, like when the music hits and Triple H is in the center of the ring
and just
staring. And
Cena's so clean, boy. Yeah. Hands, down, looks up as soon as his music.
That
so
led
clean.
to WrestleMania 24, the triple threat match between them. No,
yeah. Came back from a freak injury and cleaned house. Great ending, and like you said earlier, 2007, Undertaker and Shawn, the final two, legend versus legend. It was just in that moment was great. Right. Let alone the whole kip up with Shawn getting up and Taker sitting up at the same time. Incredible, dude. I loved it. I was hyped for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, some good stuff.
Yeah. Hype for this year's Royal Rumble.
Hype because I have no idea what's going to happen.
I'm trying to think of who I even think surprises could be, and no one's really coming other than Brock, right? We talked about Brock earlier. No one's really coming in my head as far as like who a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble could be.
Matt Cardona.
So I could see that
because I feel like there's been talks of him lately as far as doing the whole Cody thing.
But is that like a big surprise? You know, like I would be excited, but it's not going to make my Royal Rumble. He was liked, but
it's not going to make the Royal Rumble.
He was never main eventer. Yeah, he was never main eventer. The biggest storyline that I remember, Matt Cardona, who was previously what's his face?
Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder. The biggest story I remember him is when he wanted to get with Eve, and Eve ended up kissing John Cena. That's the biggest story I remember Zack Ryder ever being in. So I mean, I'd be excited for him, but it wouldn't make my Royal Rumble.
No, yeah.
I'm trying to think of an entrance that would like have us. You know, I know that it doesn't happen every Royal Rumble where your jaw's on the floor, but it would be cool to have a crazy.
The jaw on the floor thing was probably going to go to AJ Styles returning or showing up in WWE and then Edge returning.
Jade Cargill, I think it's safe to say she's entering women's.
Yeah, so let's talk about the women's too, because I mean we only had 2 entries for that whole list. Well, I mean there hasn't been many, but still, nonetheless, some of the women's stuff is really good.
For those that don't know, they didn't start doing the women's Royal Rumble till what year?
19.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So it's very fresh. It used to only just be the guys.
And I really do enjoy the women's Royal Rumble.
So do I. So we're gonna do our predictions. We're gonna save them for TikTok, but I'm just gonna say it here. I think women's Royal Rumble, Bayley's winning. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah. I'm hyped for this Royal Rumble, but I'm not. Also at the same time, I don't know if it's just because like maybe it's like you said. I truly don't know what's gonna happen. Would you be upset if Cody won again? I would be.
Yeah,
I just think that's such a safe way to do it.
It's very safe, but I can see him being final 2.
Oh, he's gonna be final 4 at least, no matter what. Yeah. But I would be kind of annoyed if he won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I just know,
and I think you can do it without him winning. Also,
you could do it without him winning, and I just know, in this era, I feel like it's not predictable anymore with wrestling, and that's what's so great about it right now. I could truly see him losing the opportunity. We're going to have that image again, just like we had at WrestleMania 39 of him, obviously not in the ring. He'll be outside the ring, and just knowing he didn't finish a story. He's not going to be able to. So he's going to have to go a different route. So we'll see what that route is. Yeah. But
I would prefer that. I'd prefer him go a different route to Roman versus winning the Rumble. I would prefer the winner of the Rumble go against Seth, and then Cody ends up finding a way to get to Roman, whatever it is. But maybe you have Solo and Jay single him out of the Rumble and they eliminate him, and that still continues the story on with him in the bloodline. Yeah. But I don't want him to win.
No, yeah. So
I don't know who wins, honestly. But we'll see, dude. I mean, we'll do our predictions and we'll post them on TikTok. We won't post them here, but I'm excited. But like I said, the hype is just it's there, but it's not.
It'll hit you one day of.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. But other than that, you have anything else?
No, I think that's it.
No. All right, guys. Well, sorry that we didn't do our introduction. Not that it's a big deal, but it doesn't look professional in my opinion. So I don't know. I got sidetracked. I like to do like a little talking before we do the intro, but it just completely slipped my mind. So we will be back. I don't know when for episode 16. We don't know yet if we're gonna film for next week, but we will be back with episode 16. I don't know what we're gonna talk about, but
it'll be soon.
Yeah. But alrighty, guys. Catch you later.
Later.